ADHD has three main qualities. It involves people who find it harder to concentrate than other people, people who find it harder to manage their impulses, and people who find it more difficult to sit still.
A condition characterised by three elements: hyperactivity, impulsivity, and difficulty concentrating.
It's actually a really quite serious condition that many children, young people and adults have considerable difficulties with.
A key component of ADHD, as well as those three core diagnostic features, is difficulty regulating your emotions. And particularly if you work with adolescents like I do, that can be one of the traits that means that people are most likely to end up having difficulties in their lives and difficulties in their interactions with people they care about.
Normally about 6, 7, 8 years of age, when children are at primary school, infant school, and maybe starting to show difficulties with their attention, with impulsivity, with hyperactivity. And we know that lots of children have those symptoms, but I suppose it's when it starts to impact on their lives in quite a negative way. So they're not progressing in the same way as other children, they're getting in more trouble than other children, parents are struggling, teachers are struggling, friends and siblings are struggling, and people are just starting to think that, well, actually this child isn't able to function in the same way as other children, and it gets to the point where they're not able to complete their academic work or make progress like other children.
Hyperactivity goes down as they get older, and it becomes more fidgetiness, and even into adult diagnosis it becomes what we often describe as internal fidgety restlessness. So to everybody else, an adult might be coping very well, but inside they're counting the tiles on the ceiling, they're wondering what's for tea, they're thinking, I'll do this, that, the other, I'm now going to doodle, I'm now going to do that.
What ADHD means is that you are somebody who is known to have difficulties with your impulsivity, known to have difficulties with your concentration, and known to find it harder to sit still. And what you have to remember is having that label, being able to put yourself in that box, means that you can access more help when you're in college, it means you can access more help in the workplace, and it also means that you can tell people that are close to you, these are the kind of things that you might see. If we arrange to go for dinner tomorrow night, drop me a text 15 minutes before we're going to go out to remind me to meet you.
I think the most important thing about having ADHD is that you embrace it, you go with it. You work with the schools, you work with your doctors and nurses and everybody who's coming in and helping and supporting you with advice, is that you work with them. They're not against you, they're there to help, and they might have little snippets of advice, but it's also important that you tell them how you feel.
For the people in the lives of a person with ADHD, the family members, the healthcare workers, the education staff, is that there are many positive aspects of having ADHD. We have to think about the energy, the creativity and the resourcefulness, and we have to remember that for somebody with ADHD, having the opportunity to step forward, to think about treatment, to think about accessing care, can mean that they move from being that young person who's struggling, who can't imagine what they're going to do with their lives, to a young person who's on track, for example, to a career as a graphic novelist, as a career in the performing arts, and a young person who's in that position that we all want to be, where they feel that they're contributing to society and feel that they're enhancing the lives of their loved ones.